Hello friends, welcome to class of transportation engineering. In this lecture, we will be studying the traffic engineering part. Okay, we have just covered highway geometry design that consisted of many chapters under it, and we will be now moving on to next bigger topic that comes under transportation engineering, that is the traffic engineering. Just the way I said that highway geometry design has weightage of 2 to 3 marks for gate examination, similar amount of weightage is for traffic engineering from gate point of view. Okay, guys. So we will be directly discussing about the traffic engineering now. So the basic parameters of traffic engineering are traffic volume or the traffic flow, that is given by symbol small q, speed of the traffic, and the traffic density. So what is traffic volume? So traffic volume is expressed as number of vehicles crossing a section of road per unit time. Please write down, expressed as the number of vehicles crossing a section of road per unit time. A section of road per unit time. Okay. So what does this mean? That suppose there is a road like this. Okay. You mark one section like this, stand over here and count the number of vehicles that are passing from this. Okay. Passing that are crossing this section. Okay. That is what the traffic volume or the traffic flow is, and do it for unit time, that is, so the uh, it will be expressed like number of vehicles per hour or the vehicles per second or vehicles per minute. That depends on the unit time, whichever the unit you use. Okay, guys. So the next basic parameter is speed of the traffic, that is given in kilometers per hour or the meters per second. That I'm sure that we need not discuss. And the third basic parameter of traffic engineering is traffic density, which stands for number of vehicles per kilometer. Number of vehicles per kilometer. So what you do in this is that suppose there is a road like this, take a section. Instead of saying number of vehicles per kilometer, it should be number of vehicles per unit distance. Per unit distance, the more general definition for this. Take a section of unit length, 1 unit. Okay, I will say 1 unit length like this. Okay, and count the number of vehicles that are passing on this road. Okay, count the number of vehicles. That is what is number of vehicles per unit length of the road, and maybe it is 1 kilometer or whichever the unit is suitable. Okay, guys. What I just discussed were the very general definitions, but the reality is different, because if you consider suppose traffic flow, if you're going and counting the traffic flow, the number of vehicles that are passing may have different impact on the road. Okay, that is, the vehicle may be a car, a bus, a truck, or different thing, a cycle, a bike. Okay, so bike will have less impact on the traffic of the road. Okay, on the traffic flow. Bus will have more impact on the traffic flow compared to that of bike. So if you say that number of vehicles that are passing this section, then we are not consistent as far as our vehicles are concerned. Okay, there are different vehicles having different impacts on the traffic. So for traffic volume, please write down that in view of variety of vehicles, in view of variety of vehicles, a number is assigned to a vehicle based on its assigned to vehicles based on its speed space and and characteristics in comparison to in comparison to car in comparison to car termed as equivalent passenger car unit, termed as equivalent passenger car unit. Okay, that is PCU, passenger car unit. So these are the passenger car equivalency factor as per IRC, and I just want you to observe these values. Okay, these are the PCU values or the passenger car units or the equivalency factor for motorcycle, scooter and the pedal cycle. It is 0.5. If it is a passenger car, then it is 1. For cycle rickshaw, it is 1.5. Truck or the bus, it is 3. The Tanga, horse driven vehicle, it is 4. The small bullock cart and the hand cart, it is 6. And the large bullock cart is 8. So this car, it is that itself is the PCU, and this is the reference, therefore it has got equivalency factor of 1. Okay, but compared to car, motorcycle occupies less space, and I'll say in place of space, I'll say that it affects the traffic less. Okay, that is the reason it has got smaller value compared to 1. Okay, so 2 motorcycles are equivalent to 1 car. This is what this means to say. Okay, the cycle rickshaw has got equivalency factor value of 1.5. It means that 1.5 cars are equivalent to 1 cycle rickshaw. Okay, so in this way it is, guys, please understand. So 3 cars are equivalent to 1 truck, okay, or 1 bus. So this is what, and it depends on the 3 factors, that is the speed, the space and the other characteristics. Therefore PCU represents the effect of different vehicles on traffic stream, different vehicles on traffic stream. Okay, so you see, guys, if bullock cart is moving on the road, it is going to cause a lot of disturbance to the traffic stream on the road. Okay, it is a disturbance, it is a hindrance to traffic. That is the reason the PCU value assigned to it is 8. But in case of motorcycle, there is no hindrance to traffic. It can easily go. Okay, it swiftly passes. That is why the PCU assigned to it is less. Okay, similar is the vehicle Tanga. Okay, Tanga causes less hindrance compared to the bullock carts. Okay, that is the reason the PCU value assigned to it is 4. Okay, so this is the way how the PCU values are assigned. Okay, I hope you understood this PCU. So let us take up a numerical example based on this. Okay, numerical example based on this. Okay, here it is. The question is, in a busy road during peak hours of traffic, the following vehicles are observed. Calculate the traffic flow in terms of PCU per hour. Now you see, earlier we discussed that the flow is given as vehicles per hour, but now here they are stating that it is PCU per hour. Okay, the traffic flow in terms of PCU per hour they are asking. There are 550 cars, 320 buses, 20 cycle rickshaws and 450 bikes. Okay, so let us move ahead. So there are 550 cars. Okay, I am writing over here cars equal to 550, buses equal to 320, cycle rickshaw equal to 20 and bikes are 450. So to convert it into PCU, just multiply by their equivalency factors. So into 1 equal to 550. For buses, the PCU value is 3, so it is becomes 960. Multiply cycle rickshaw by 1.5 equal to 30, and bikes, the equivalence factor 0.5 will be equal to 225. Okay, so these are the PCU values. So if there are 550 cars, stands for there are 550 passenger car units. Okay, passenger cars. If there are 320 buses, stands for there are 960 cars, passenger cars. Okay, this way it goes. So just sum this up. Please add this, and you will get 1765 PCU per hour. Okay, and this is the way in which traffic volume is measured. Okay, so we will discuss now different methods to count the vehicles on road. Okay, so the very first method is that manual count. Manual count. In this, you need to go to the roadside, draw one section, stand over here and start counting the number of vehicles. Okay, one passed, then one, two, in both the directions. Okay, now it is a practical situation. Now you see how the complications are increasing. So the traffic volume is measured in both the directions separately. You need to have the direction, and you need to find the count the number of vehicles per unit time. Okay, secondly, what you can do is you can use an HD camera on road. HD camera on road. Just put up a camera. Camera will capture the number of vehicles. It will capture the video, and later on you have to count that. And in fact, there are some softwares available to do this job for you. Okay, the counting of vehicles. And yes, the next is the using software. The software that is called uh, MX Roads. MX Roads. Okay, you just assign the video to it of 1 hour video, and it will give you the traffic volume or the traffic flow in passenger car units. Okay, and it automatically selects the critical volume hour of traffic. Please write down the software automatically selects the critical volume of the critical volume hour of the critical volume hour of traffic. Okay guys, critical volume hour of traffic. If you have noted this, then we will go to the next concept, that is the design traffic volume. So which of the volumes is regarded as the design traffic volume? Okay, so you know guys, for design we select the optimum, not too high, not too low, but something that is going to work out. Okay, so I'll just rub this out, I'll erase it. Okay guys, okay, so the 30th hourly volume in an year, please write down 30th highest hourly volume in an year is considered as design traffic volume, is considered as design traffic volume. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, how to do that? So what you do is, on x-axis, these are the hours right from the 1st Jan to 31st December of the year. Okay, for a complete year these are the hour, and for each of the hour from y on y-axis the traffic volume is measured. Okay, so for each hour there will be some traffic volume. Okay, like this, right? Okay, So this is the traffic volume per hour in an year. So please draw the straight lines. Okay, so we will select like this is the highest line. Okay, the first one, second, third, third highest, fourth highest, fifth highest, sixth highest, seventh highest, like that we will select, and we will select the 30th line. Okay, 30th highest one. Okay, and we will draw a line over here touching the 30th 30th highest traffic volume. Okay, 30th highest hourly volume. Okay, this line. Okay, so there are 29 lines above this. There are 29 lines above this, and all others are below. Okay, so in this way we get the 30th highest hourly volume. Since designing for peak hourly volume is uneconomical, please write down. Since designing for peak hourly volume peak hourly volume is uneconomical, hence not advisable from hence not advisable. By designing for 30th 30th highest hourly volume, by designing for 30th highest hourly volume, there will be 29 hours of traffic jam in 1 year. There will be 29 hours of traffic jam in 1 year. Okay guys, so moving ahead, and yes, this means that the 30th traffic jam will be avoided. 30th hour of traffic jam will be avoided since we are designing for the 30th highest hourly volume will be avoided. Okay, so let's move ahead to discuss speed now. Okay, the next parameter of traffic engineering is the speed, and it is given as, if it is capital V in R sign, as per R sign convention, then it is in kilometers per hour, and if it's small v, then it is meters per second. Okay, that is, speed is the distance per unit time. Okay, so there are three types of speeds. The first one is the spot or the instantaneous speed. Spot or the instantaneous speed. Okay, second type is running speed. Running speed. Third type of the speed is overall speed or the journey speed or the travel speed. Overall speed or the journey speed or the travel speed. Okay, so what does this mean? Spot speed stands for speed at an instance of time. Okay, speed at an instant of time, and it is measured using instrument called endoscope, and now which is replaced by speed gun. Replaced by speed gun. Okay, running speed. Running speed is an average time average speed without any stop, without considering any stop. Okay, once we take up an example, you will come to know what does this mean. Okay, and overall journey speed is average speed with stops and delays. This means average speed with stops and delays. Okay, so just to understand this, let us take up an example. Oh, I had written this one. Okay, no problem. So we should take up an example that there is a vehicle. Okay, there is a vehicle that is moving with speed of, sorry, for a distance of 500 kilometers. Okay, for a distance of 500 kilometers. So the total journey is equal to 500 kilometer. Okay, and meanwhile it takes a break of 1 hour over here. Okay, and at some other location it takes a break of 1.5 hour, and the total time required, total journey time, okay, journey time is equal to 10 is equal to 10.5 hours, 10.5 hours. Okay, so in this case running speed is equal to 500 kilometer upon 10.5 minus 1.5 hour, that is equal to 500 by 9, which is equal to 55 kilometers per hour. I hope you understand what is running speed. It is a speed for which the vehicle is running. Okay, and next, the journey speed, travel speed, or the overall speed. Okay, I'll say journey speed equal to 500 kilometers divided by 10.5, which is equal to 47.62 kilometers per hour. 47.62 kilometers per hour. Okay, guys. In a way, the difference between the running speed and the journey speed informs us about the degree or extent of disturbance. Okay, of disturbance on road. Okay, so please understand that the vehicle stops. Okay, in traffic engineering, when the vehicle stops, that means it is for some reason that is considered as the disturbance to the flow on the road. Okay, we will discuss the spot speed analysis. So the presentation of spot speed data is done using cumulative speed distribution curve. Okay, please write down, presentation of spot speed data is done using cumulative speed distribution curve. Okay, where 85th percentile speed is 85th percentile speed is the speed at or below which the speed at or below which 85% of vehicles are passing. 85% of vehicles are passing a point on highway, or you may say that the 15% of the vehicles exceed the speed at that point, or you may say that 15% of vehicles exceed the speed at that point. This is regarded as 85th percentile speed. Okay, it is regarded as safe speed. Okay, safe speed at this zone. Please write down, this is the very important thing. safe speed at that zone. Okay, very important. So similarly, there will be some 98th percentile speed. 90th percentile speed. 98th percentile speed. It is used as the design speed. Design speed. Okay. And 15th percentile speed. 15th percentile speed is regarded as the minimum speed. Okay. Minimum speed. So this cumulative speed distribution curve is just like sieve analysis that we do in geotechnical engineering. Okay, it is just like sieve analysis, just like doing the sieve analysis, and I will discuss it through an example. Okay guys, so this is the table that gives the first column represents the speed range in kilometers per hour. Okay, 0 to 10, it is 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and up to 19 to 90 to 100 kilometers per hour, and the number of vehicles observed. So this is the traffic data. Okay, so the next column will be percentage vehicles. Okay, percentage vehicles. We want to find out, we want to go for the cumulative speed distribution curve now from this data. Okay, so we will find out the percentage vehicles. Okay, so 10%. So the total you need to find out. Please find out what is the total number of vehicles. Okay guys, the total is, there are 1000 vehicles. Okay, so 10 stands for 1%. Okay, 1%. 40 stands for 4%. 55%, 5%. 15%, 25%. 30%, 9%, 4%, and 2%. Okay, the next column will be cumulative percentage of vehicles. Okay, next column will be cumulative percentage of vehicles. Okay, so just go on adding 1, 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 5, 10, 15, 30, 55, 85, 85 plus 9 is 94, 94 plus 4 is 98, and 2 is 100% over here. Okay, so from this we know that 15 percentile is the minimum speed. Okay, 15 percentile is the minimum speed. Therefore here you have to see, okay, here is the 15 percentile, and that is the reason this corresponding to this 30 to 40 kilometer is the minimum speed. So please write down minimum speed is equal to is 30 to 40 kilometer per hour. Okay. 85th percentile is the safe speed. Where is 85th? Oh, here is 85th, and that is the reason safe speed is 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. Okay, and 98th percentile is the design speed. 98th percentile is the design speed. So design speed is 80 to 90 kilometers per hour. There is a term more, that average speed. Okay, average speed, it is given at 50th percentile speed. It is given as 50th percentile speed. Okay, but here you don't get any 50th percentile, you get 30 percentile, and afterwards you get the speed for 55th percentile speed. Okay, since there is no 50th percentile over here in the data, you can simply draw a curve like this. Okay, you can simply draw a curve like this. Oh, here. Okay, we will draw on x-axis, it will be speed, and on y-axis cumulative percentile of vehicles. Okay, cumulative percentile of vehicles. Okay, So from 0 to 100 up to here, you will obtain a curve of this kind, and where there will be 15%, here will be 50, somewhere here will be 80, 85, sorry, 85, and somewhere here will be 98, and then the 101. Please understand that I have not drawn it correctly. Okay, so the speed that is corresponding to this value, okay, corresponding to this value here, this speed is the average speed. This is the average speed. Okay, and this is what the cumulative speed distribution curve. Okay, guys. So now we will discuss time mean speed and the space mean speed. Okay. So what time mean speed stands is that average of spot speeds at location for unit duration. Please write down average of spot speeds at location, at a location for unit duration. Okay. So it means that if there is a road like this, you go and stand here. Okay. And location is fixed. Okay. At this location, for 1 hour of time, you measure the spot speeds of the vehicles, and the time mean speed, that is v suffix t. V suffix t will be given as, suppose there are n vehicles, then v1 plus v2 plus v3 plus vn upon n. This is what the spot mean speed is. Okay, sorry, this is what the time mean speed is. Okay, it is given by this formula. At a section of a road, you need to find speeds of different vehicles for unit time, and you need to take average of it. That is what the time mean speed is, and which is one of the classifications of spot speed. Okay, and the space mean speed. Okay, in case of space mean speed, so I am erasing it, guys. Space mean speed, what you have to do is that, suppose there is a road like this. Okay, at a stretch of road, at 1 kilometer stretch of road, 1 kilometer, at a 1 kilometer stretch, at fixed time, that is at only one time, and for 1 kilometer of space. Okay, you find out what are the spot speeds of the vehicles. Okay, there will be many vehicles like this, and you find out what are their spot speeds. Okay, so the space mean speed is given by Vs equal to n into capital V, where n is number of vehicles, and to calculate the capital V, you have to use this formula, 1 by V upon 1 plus V1 plus 1 by V2 plus 1 by V3 plus dot 1 by Vn, where V1 is the spot speed of the first vehicle, V2 is the spot speed of the second, third vehicle. Okay, so in this way you need to go and find out the capital V value. Okay, and from here you get the capital V value, substitute it over here and multiply it by n, and that is what the space mean speed is. Okay, please write down a note that the data for time mean speed, that is Vt, and space mean speed, that is Vs, Vt and Vs are totally different, are totally different. Okay, if in a problem some data is given for calculation of, same data is given for calculation of Vt and Vs, then use the same data. Please write it down. If in a problem same data is given for calculation of Vt and Vs, then use the same data. Okay, use the same data, but ideally the data should be totally different. In general, Vt is always greater than Vs, except in the unlikely event that all the vehicles are traveling at same speed. All the vehicles are traveling at same speed. Okay, so now let us take up a numerical example based on this. So the question is, the spot speeds are given. If the spot speeds in kilometer per hour spot speeds in kilometer per hour are 50, 40, 60, 54 and 45. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5, so n equal to 5. Okay, then the time mean speed and the space mean speed are Vt equal to what and Vs equal to what. Okay, so how to go about it? So calculating Vt is very simple. Vt will be given as 50 plus 40 plus 60 plus 54 plus 45 divided by 5, which is equal to, you tell me the answer, 49.8 kilometers per hour. Okay, and now we will calculate the space mean speed. Okay, for which space mean speed Vs we will calculate. Vs is given as capital V into n, where capital V is given as 1 by V equal to 1 by 50 plus 1 by 40 plus 1 by 60 plus 1 by 54 plus 1 by 45. It stands for capital V equal to 9.76 kilometer per hour. Okay, 9.76 kilometers per hour, and therefore Vs equal to 9.76 into n is 5, which is equal to 48.82 kilometer per hour. So I hope you understood the speed as well as the traffic volume. Okay, so the same question can be given in different format. I'll solve it over here. We are not discussing traffic density now. The same question can be put in the other format. They'll give you the speed range like this. The speed range is say in meters per second. Okay, in the column 1, and the second column will be frequency in PCU per hour. PCU per hour. Okay, the speed range is 2.5, 7.5, 11.5 and 15.5. Okay, and the frequency is 1407. So the time mean speed will be 2.5 into 1 plus 7.5 into 4 plus 11.5 into 0 plus 15.5 into 7. Okay, divided by you need to add all these, that is 7 for 11 plus 1 is 12 divided by 12. This gives answer 11.75 kilometers per hour. Similarly, space mean speed. Okay, space mean speed Vs, capital Vs, 1 by V equal to 1 by 2.5 plus 4 by 7.5 plus 0 by 11.5 plus 7 by 15.5. So V value that you get over here is 0.72, and Vs, the space mean speed, will be given by 12 into 0.72, which is equal to 8.76 or 8.66 kilometers per hour. Okay, so this is the way the same question, same concept is formulated in the another way. Okay, guys. So let us now discuss the traffic density. The traffic density. Okay, it is the number of vehicles per kilometer on the road. Okay, what you do, go and suppose there is a road like this, go and take a snapshot, a picture of 1 kilometer of road. Okay, and of a critical lane, I'll say, and count the number of vehicles on the road. Count the number of vehicles. So this number and convert it into PCU. Okay, the passenger car units, and passenger car units per unit distance itself is what is the traffic density. Okay, so please write down the definition. The number of vehicles occupying a unit length, the number of vehicles occupying the unit length of a lane of road, of a lane of roadway at a given instant, at a given instant. Okay, and the unit length may be suitable one is 1 kilometer. Okay, so there exists a relationship between traffic volume Q, the traffic density K, and the speed S. Okay, so the relationship is Q equal to KV or Ks, the speed, whatever you say, where Q is traffic volume, where K is the density, and V is the speed or the velocity. Okay, so if you see that density is given as number of vehicles per kilometer, and the unit of speed will be kilometers per hour, and kilometer get cancelled, and what you get, the unit for traffic volume as vehicles per hour. Okay, vehicles, number of vehicles per hour, and that is consistent with the unit of volume that we studied as vehicles per hour. So this is correct. Okay, so in this way we discussed the three basic parameters Q, K, and S or V, that is the traffic speed, traffic density, and the traffic volume. And now we will discuss the derived parameters. Okay, derived parameters are the parameters that can be found out using the three basic parameters. Okay, hence they are called the derived parameters, and the two significant derived parameters are the time headway and the space headway. So time headway is the time gap between the two successive vehicles that are crossing the section on road. Okay, so time headway is the distance, is the time gap between two successive vehicles on road which are crossing a section of a road, a section of a road. Okay, so if there is a road like this, okay, you again stand up here at a section. Okay, and to calculate the time headway, you will now find out the exactly opposite of what we studied for the traffic flow. You will find out traffic flow was vehicles per hour, and now you should find out the hours per vehicle. Okay, so the distance between the two successive vehicles. Okay, and how that can be done is the time headway can be given as 1 by Q, the traffic volume, and so 1 by the units I'll write, so the vehicle per hour, and which can be written as R per vehicle. Okay, so this can be 1 upon Q into, since it is in hours, we will convert it into seconds, therefore into 3600, and vehicles it will remain as a unit quantity, and therefore what you get is in seconds per vehicle. Okay, you will get it in seconds per vehicle. Therefore you can say that time headway is equal to 3600 upon the traffic flow in seconds per vehicle. Okay, so I hope you have now understood what is the time headway. Okay, you have to just find out what is the time between the two successive vectors. Okay, similarly, space headway space headway is the average distance between the two successive vehicles on the road. Okay, so please write down the average distance between two successive vehicles on the road. Two successive vehicles on the road. Okay, or it is in simple terms, density was given in units of vehicles per kilometer, and if you just inverse this, what you will get is kilometers per vehicle. Okay, so that is exactly what is the kilometers per vehicle, that is the distance between the two vehicles. Okay, so what I'll say is I'll erase this and I'll say that space headway s is equal to 1 by k. Okay, which will be in the units of 1 by vehicles per kilometer, which will be equal to 1 by k kilometers per vehicle. Okay, 1 by k kilometer per vehicle, and since it is in the kilometer and the distance between the two vehicles is not into kilometers, in the order of kilometers, you will convert it into meters per vehicle, so just multiply it by 1000. So therefore 1000 by k meter per vehicle, therefore s is equal to 1000 by k meters per vehicle. Okay, this is what the space headway is. So we are aware of a relationship, that is q equal to kv. Q equal to kv, that is the flow equal to density into speed. Okay, and you see density is vehicles per kilometer, speed is kilometer per hour, kilometer gets cancelled, and flow has got units vehicle per hour. Okay, so this is exactly correct. Okay, so based on this there can be small numericals, or this relationship will be used in numerous problems. Okay, but apart from that, based on this only, how can a complicated problem, a slightly difficult problem, be asked in GATE examination, that we are going to discuss now. So this is a previous GATE problem. Okay, so the problem is that a section of a road of section of a major highway has following flow density relationship, that is the q equal to 42k minus 0.56 k square. Okay, and usual meanings, q is traffic flow, k is the traffic density. Okay, this is the relationship they have in between each other. What is the capacity of the highway section and the speed when the highway is at 1/4 of its capacity? Okay, that means they are asking you to find out what is speed and the capacity, uh, or you may say the flow at 1/4 of capacity. Flow at 1/4 of capacity. Capacity itself is a flow, and what is the 1/4 of the capacity, they are asking in simple terms, and they are asking you what will be the speed at 1/4 of the capacity. This is the simpler meaning of this uh, question. Okay, so understanding the question itself is at times a challenge. What is the capacity of the highway section and the speed when the highway is at 1/4 of its capacity? Okay, so you need to first find out what is the capacity of the highway section. So guys, to find out the capacity, k is the independent parameter and q is the dependent parameter. So to find, like at capacity q equal to q maximum, k equal to k maximum, and u equal to, that is the speed, or v equal to v maximum. Okay, so to find qm, what we will do is that we will differentiate this relationship with respect to k, that is the independent variable. So what we will do is dq by dk differentiate and set it equal to 0. Okay, so by doing this operation to this equation, what we get is 42 minus 0.56 into 2k equal to 0, which gives k equal to, please calculate and tell me what is the value of k over here. So k equal to 37.5 vehicles per kilometer, or vehicles per some distance or something. Okay, so this is the density, the k max, I'll say. So from this you can obtain the v max. Okay, so I need an additional space. So from this, okay, I'll write over here. Okay guys, so please forget this. So q max equal to 42 k max minus 0.56 k max square, which will be equal to 42 into 37.5 minus 0.56 into 37.5 square, that is the capacity is 787.5 vehicles per hour. Okay, so this is how they found out the capacity of the road from the this relationship that they have given. Okay, so it is a very simple calculation, simple mathematics. So based on this, at 1/4 of capacity, so at 1/4 of capacity, at 1/4 of capacity, so 1/4 of capacity means that is equal to 787.5 divided by 4, which is equal to 196.875 vehicles per hour. 196.875 vehicles per hour. Okay, so here at this stage we want to find out, as per the question, we want to find out the speed at this, no? Yes, and the speed when highway is 1/4 of the capacity. So what we want to find out from this is the speed. Okay, we want to find out the speed. So what we will do is that we are aware that q equal to kv, and if we know k, q is known to us that it will be this, because we want to find out at this capacity. If we just know the k value, then we can get some value for v. But how to get k? Then this is valid for this equation is valid. Okay, this equation is valid, the general equation, that is q equal to 42 minus 42k minus 0.56 k square is valid for this. So we will substitute the value back. So q equal to 196.875 equal to 42k minus 0.56 k square, and the k value comes out to be, k1 comes out to be 5 vehicles per some distance. Okay, and in the question what is given, it is in the unit, say mile or some distance. Okay, per some distance, and k2 that you will obtain is equal to 72 vehicles per some distance. So I'll write over here that k1 equal to, k1 equal to 5 vehicles per unit distance, and k2 equal to 70 vehicles per unit distance. Okay, so the speeds u1 equal to q upon k1, which will be equal to 196.871 divided by 5, which is equal to 39.375, say some distance per hour, kilometers per hour. Use the consistent units. Okay guys, from starting itself I have not used some consistent units, but I'll say that some distance per unit time. Okay, and u2 will be equal to q upon k2, which will be equal to 196.871 upon 70, which is equal to 2.81 distance per unit time. Okay, so speed at capacity, which will be equal to p maximum equal to q max by k max, which is equal to 787.5 upon 37.5, that is equal to 21 distance per unit time. Okay, so the question was that what is the capacity of highway section and the speed when the highway is at 1/4 of its capacity. So what we have got is 21, uh, and the option, the speed at the capacity, it is the 21. Maybe there is some ambiguity with the question and the answers given, but we have solved according to what the question is asked. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. We will stop here in this lecture and see you in the next lecture. We will continue with the traffic engineering itself. Okay, thank you so much. See you in the next lecture.